Dear Mook learners, welcome back to this session on virtual education. In this session, we will see how to ensure examination sanctity in a virtual learning environment. So, the broad topics that we cover here are what is the examination process, especially in the context of virtual education, what are the guidelines of setting higher level questions, then what are the ways of monitoring, building an efficient effective examination management process, and finally what will be the conclusions. Upon reading this learning material, you should be able to understand the concept of open book examinations, able to design guidelines for higher level questions, will be able to effectively build an efficient examination management process. So, now let us see what is basically an examination system, especially in an online mode. An online examination system is simply the way for examination activities like defining the exam patterns with some question banks, defining the examination timer, objectives or subjective questions, conducting the examination via the computing gadgets, maybe it may be a desktop or a laptop or a mobile device in a paperless manner. So, this is what we call it as an online examination system. Today you are seeing most of the competitive examinations are conducted in online mode, like GATE examination is conducted completely in online mode. There are several other competitive examinations are also being conducted by different examination agencies in online mode, and they have been tested well, and till now no such instances has happened which is against the ethics of the examination system. So, here basically in any online examination system, how it works? In any online examination system, the student will register for the examination through a web enabled form. Then he will choose the course, the date of examination, and he will upload all his credentials like photograph, signature, and pay the required examination amount. Then on the date of the examination, the student will go to a recognized center, a computer center by the examination agency that happens in a proctored examination. Okay. So, he goes to a recognized examination center, he sits in front of the computer, there he will be given his credentials. After logging into his credentials, the examination portal opens, he starts answering the questions. Maybe it may be a subjective question or an objective question or a multiple choice question. Then the timer keeps decreasing, and as soon as the time gets over, the examination gets stopped and he comes out, and on the date of the announcement of results, he will see his examination result on the portal itself. So, this is a typical cycle that happens in any online examination system. So, now what is the role and importance of this online examination system? The purpose of online examination system is to test the subject knowledge of the student, right? Such systems should eliminate the logistical hassles and the drawbacks in the traditional mode of pen and paper examination. Then only we call it as an effective, right? So, students don't have to assemble in the classroom to give exam. They have to do within a given time frame from their own device. You don't have to call them to the classroom, right? So, here what do you think about some of these statements? Now, do technology make it easier to cheat, plagiarize, and fabricate papers? What are you currently doing to help to ensure academic integrity in an online courses? What are your concerns about the academic integrity and preventing students from cheating, especially in an online examination? And what are the ways that you want to know that how the students cheat in the examination? So, this is what we are supposed to answer before we start conducting an effective online examination. We should not go by the assumption that the students are sincere. We should not go by the assumption that the students are practice ethical practices, and we can't go by such kind of assumptions. We have to always assume that there are certain students who cheat the system, and you have to ensure a fair mode of conducting the examination. So, how do we do it in online mode? Do you think that the students cheat more or less in an online classroom instead of in the traditional one? At least in the traditional one, there is a teacher or an instructor or an invigilator who monitors the students while he is taking up the examination. Whereas in case of online examination, there is no such kind of physical invigilator. So, how do you ensure that? So, these are some of the faculty perceptions, and we have to give an answer for all these things. So, now a virtual exam or the remote exam is an exam that the student takes from the location other than the physical classroom or any physical examination center. And in a virtual exam, the student is not supervised at a physical location, but he will be supervised through a software and a web camera. The virtual exam is conducted with the help of internet, making it location agnostic for both the students as well as the invigilators. So, now you have this scenario. There are lot of such kind of strategies to promote deeper learning, especially in the context of having an online examination. Let us see few of these. The one is a Socratic seminar. It is a formal discussion led by the use of open-ended questions to guide the inquiry and reveal knowledge gaps and the biases. Similarly, there is one called clarity. The clarity is a teaching strategy that both the Hattel and Mazzeno identify as especially effective. Clarity improves learning. Whereas one more tool called question formulation technique, we have to brainstorm the questions and improve those questions through some discussions. Then there is a reciprocal teaching, which is structured dialogue with the students to help them to make the meaning of a text. Similarly, there is something called Bloom's twist. Here you start lessons at the lower levels of thinking and then gradually increase. Then we have tiered learning targets. We create the learning targets that capture the range of students' abilities and the challenges of all the students. So, these are some of these strategies that can be used in online examination. Online examination need not be like what we conduct in the paper and pen based examination. We can have different kind of examination system, so we need not follow complete traditional methods in online examination. And these are some of the strategies that people can follow, which also enhances the deeper learning. And here there are certain frequency of occurrences. What is the frequency? Say there is a McCabe and Trevino self-reported on 12 behaviors of students using script notes, copying another student's text answers, getting prior knowledge of test content, copying the test answers without the other student's knowledge, then assisting other student in cheating on a test cheating in another way, copying someone else's work and submitting it as own, fabricating or falsifying the bibliography, turning on another's work, receiving substantial or unpermitted help from an assistant, collaborating when individual work was specified, copying the sentences without citation or footnoting. These are some of the frequency of occurrences or the 12 behaviors in the examination system the students may do. So, this is a mostly cited survey of self-reported incidents of academic dishonest among the undergraduate students in McCube and Trevino. They conducted a survey in 1993. And this was taken from the sample of 6,096 students from 31 colleges and universities in US. And similar studies reported similar results, and people should be very much aware of such kind of instances where the students or cheat the system by following some unethical practices. So this is what this how the students tend to cheat, right? So now the growing number of academic violations. This is a case study at Rutgers University, and you know, in 2017 almost it is growing, like every year it is growing, minimum 10 to 20% is growing, and last reported in 2017 more than 686 students were caught for violating the academic integrity. So the issue is growing to all other schools with large online programs. So the most common ways the students cheat, one should understand: plagiarize. They submit without properly acknowledging the sources. Sometime else they does the work for them, students others work as their own. They share the text answers, they copying and pasting the text question into Google and find some exact question verbatim in a site such as Quizlet or Chegg and other things. So there are so many tools that help students to cheat. So now, what is the violation, what is the problem, and what is the solution? So we have to ensure. Now, violation is submission of information without properly acknowledging the source through complete, accurate and specific references. The solution that are available is, you can use plagiarism detection software. Further, students are urged to consult with individual faculty members, department heads or recognized handbooks in their own discipline if they have a doubt as whether their work may contain plagiarism material. Similarly, the risk of online modality. What is the problem? Medium risk of asynchronous writing assignments, like students can easily copy and paste from Wikipedia. The solution is safe assign. There are a lot of plagiarism detection softwares, like Safe Assign detects plagiarism and creates an originality report. There are many such kind of tools that are available. Similarly, the risk factor of face-to-face courses. Here, low risk if the writing assignments are administered in the class. The solution is, you have students handwrite an essay in the class like a pop quiz. If it is closed book and they can use a device like Google Answers, it is up to them to remember and organize their own thoughts on the spot. So there are many such kind of solutions people have to enforce. So the features that can be included in online examination management systems are student database management. like the information about the students like name, class, selection, address, and also the bibliometric details can also be stored. The performance, the students' performance in the curricular can be updated in the application. Similarly, the exam date, some students will not be aware of the exam dates that are approaching. Then exam results, students will be able to assess their exam results online without coming to the school to see their results, right? So these are all some of the features that can be added. Apart from this, these people can also add the biometric features of the student. So for example, his aries recognition system, or some other his face and many other biometric details can also be added, so that the online proctored examination can be conducted thoroughly. So these are some of the features of online examination system. So now usually how this online examination system can happen in a better way. First, you should have a pre and post examination process. Then you should have a remote platform with 24/7 access. Then confidentiality and security has to be ensured. The bigger picture of improved student learning outcome has to be reported. Please see, there are many systems already in place like GRE examination, GMAT examination, which are actually conducted on 24/7 in the remote platform. So people can use such kind of systems to be implemented for online examination system. So there are many such kind of benefits of online examination management systems. The preparation of question papers and MCQs having the single correct option, multiple correct options from the lessons so far is taught as the best question papers that can be set for online examinations. So all the teachers are not technologically sound to create the question papers using like tools like Google Form. So we have to make the question papers in a very standardized format. The examination timetable has to be strictly followed. Invigilation duties, remote invigilation duties are to be done to ensure fair examinations, and evaluation work has to be done with proper rubrics. And who will do all these things in an online examination has to be properly defined. So these are all some of the challenges. So now typically the challenges also include, like we have so many use cases or the roles in the examination system. Students are central. We have, apart from students, we have the teacher, we have the observer, we have the invigilators, we have the principal, we have also the parents, and we have multiple invigilators or the teachers or instructors. There is a coordinator. So many roles are coming across in any online examination system. So how do we include such kind of roles in an online examination system is also a challenge. So to create a well defined structure and a core team for online examination is the challenge in itself. So now, as we see, especially when we are conducting the online examination system, the guidelines for setting higher level questions should be followed systematically. So as you know, the higher level questions are those which require complex applications, for example, analysis, synthesis and evaluation skills. And questions at the higher levels of the Bloom's taxonomy are usually the most appropriate for online examinations. So we have to encourage students to think more deeply and critically. We have to encourage problem solving, encourage discussions, and also simulate the students to seek information on their own. These are all some of the important aspects that one has to consider while setting the question paper for online examination. So as all of you know, the Bloom's taxonomy, the revised Bloom's taxonomy, which is already discussed in the previous session, has to be applied properly, from remembering to create level. So one has to set questions especially that map to higher level orders of blooms like apply to create, and people should avoid remember and understand kind of questions in online examinations. So how do we eliminate the unfavorable instances towards efficient and effective examination management process? There are always a handful of students who can resort to cheating while taking an online proctored examination. So first we have to ensure that the objective of any examination system is to boost the learning. As you know, the MOOCs, which are also known as the massive online open course, are easily accessible to uh, via e-learning programs, and there has been a skepticism about the enrollments as it is a bit rich to expect students to fly long distances each time to appear for an examination. So therefore, we should have a proper online examination management system which takes care of student management. There should be a proper master question bank, examination schedule, student progress, students account, institute management, payment integration, and examination report. All these things should be incorporated in an online examination management system. And online proctoring is a type of digital evaluation through which you can give exams from anywhere. It is conducted via online software that enables course participants and the students to sit for the tests. However, it must be dependable and devoid of any fraudulent activities. So to address these concerns, monitoring software should be available which keeps a watch on you, making sure that the exams are completed without any fraud. Okay. So as you know, a typical proctored examination has these three stages. The candidates can take exams online from their home or office using their own laptop. There is a webcam used to authenticate the candidate's identity. The proctor observes the candidate as they complete their exam. This is a typical scenario of online proctoring, right? So how do we prevent the candidates from opening any other window during the examination process? So there is a software designed by Ekalavya platform which provides an add-on solution which can be kept active on desktop machine to prevent the candidates from opening any other window during the online examinations. And online exam process becomes highly secure if we actually install such kind of add-ons. So there is an add-on which is actually used uh, by the students in any online proctored examination, and it is designed by Ekalavya platform. So this also prevents the screen sharing of programs also. So if the candidate tries to open any other window during the examination process, the system shows a warning message that you are trying to move away from the exam window, and it will also be notified to the proctor. Okay. So this is what the life cycle, how an AI based remote proctoring works. This is a advancement in online examination system. So how AI based remote proctoring works? So you have to identify there is a human segment and the label called data point. So first you have to identify, then build. Once enough data is segmented around the label, at least for example 20,000 instances, then we have to create and deploy an event in the algorithm. Then train, we will run the current data through the algorithm to trigger the newly created event, and then tune. The human retrace the data and confirm whether the event took place or not, and making the system more accurate in detecting that specific event. So this architecture of identify, build, train and tune, this is a AI based remote proctoring architecture people are working on to effectively implement it in their software modules, and sooner it will become a reality. In many of the western countries already this has been in practice, and in within few days or few months actually we will also see such kind of software, that is AI based remote proctoring software, available for everybody's use. So, can the online exams detect cheating? Yes, online examinations can detect cheating more easily. Rather, there are a lot of softwares for conducting online examinations which are designed in such a way that they are secure and reliable to prevent any type of malpractices from taking place. These tips may definitely come in handy while conducting online examinations. So, what is the conclusion is, it is evolving. Online examination system is evolving. We require a trained manpower to make it successful. Here, the role of the teacher in preparing an effective question bank is also a big challenge. So sooner or later, we have to adapt to such kind of online examination platforms, and it is better now we start adapting to that by going through many of such kind of freely available softwares or the examination portals that are available. There is one more problem of prevention of question copy when the online examination is conducted. For example, during the examination, if the student is stuck on any particular question, he or she might attempt to copy the question and paste it on another tab with a search engine to look out for a corrective answer. So now, as I told you, the Ekalavya platform prevents copying of questions during the exam process also. It helps to keep the question paper secure for the online examination. So now, how do we prevent cheating during the online examination? Use technology of remote proctoring to conduct online exams. Design a question paper in such a way that the students need to analyze and think for solving the questions. Disable the question navigation for the exams. Define a pre-question timer where the student must attend a particular question in a specific time, for example 60 seconds. Now, as soon as the timer is elapsed, the system moves to the next question. Then conduct a descriptive exam where the student can record the answer in the form of a voice, and it can be evaluated by the examiner by listening to the audio answer. These are all some of the ways that can be adopted to prevent cheating during the examination. So these are all the few references that are taken, and as I told you, there are platforms like this Ekalavya software which provides a better atmosphere or the architecture for conducting the online examinations. So the sincere suggestion is to use such kind of portals for conducting the online examination in an effective way, and it is also the teachers should get trained to conduct examination and set a quality questions to ensure that the students apply their mind instead of encouraging the rote memorization. So with this we will conclude this session. Thank you very much.